Hi, it's the Improv to Go podcast. We have a different guest every week. This week, my guest, Mr. Dr. Michael Stokes. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you are here. Yeah, I'm glad to see you. It's good to have you in. So I like to get right into this stuff. We'll do a thing in the middle where we do kind of a interview, ask you questions type deal. But for now, like I say, we get moving with a warm-up game. I don't know. Some people have had a chance to listen to previous episodes. Some people haven't. Have you had a chance to listen to any?
I have. You have a wonderful cast of characters.
Oh, thanks. So we are going to do a warm-up game that is called Sales Pitch, which you may have heard. Inventions, profit, money, coaching, sales pitch. Sales pitch is kind of like a Shark Tanky kind of thing. And it's comparable to games you may have seen elsewhere, like on Whose Line Is It Anyway and stuff, where they do two-headed, three-headed, this, that, and the other thing. You do one word at a time. In our version, we're selling something, Shark Tank style, to investors, and we pitch it as like partners who are so good at it that we, do each other's sentences. So one word at a time. You do a word, I do a word, back and forth.
Absolutely.
What are we going to be selling? Well, let's do a prompt here real quick. The prompt is hot. So we are selling, take that as you will.
All right.
mean, we could be selling something that is hot. We could be selling the idea of hot itself. But are you ready to go?
I am.
I'll do a countdown and you can start with the first word. I'll go 3, 2, 1.
Today
Is
the day
you
will
find
we
are
prepared
to
give
you
exactly
what
you
deserve.
Beginning
With
the
tip
of
my
iceberg.
So
Prepare
yourself for
something
that
will
destroy
your
soul.
and
Make
you
so hot. I am going to end it at that one because, I would buy whatever it is sold. I would buy
something that's going to destroy me on the tip of an iceberg
and make you so hot. All right, let's do another one. The word for this one is going to be World Series. So it's something related to some kind of World Series. There's many World Series. Baseball's not the only one, but we'll see. It's the most popular one anyway. So I'll count us in again, and you can start again. So we'll go 3, 2, 1.
Welcome
To
our
World
Series
of
Baseball.
It
Will
knock
you
out
of
your
pants.
because
Today
we
have
the
ultimate
sacrifice
flying
in
to
your
face.
it
Is
the
biggest
thing
you've
you've ever
seen.
because
It
will
accelerate
into
your
pants.
hey-o.
I'm gonna, Ayo is a great ending to that. I know it seems like we didn't sell a whole lot, but it's really the sizzle that you sell more so than the steak itself is what they always say. That's good. I think that we're warmed up. I think we can do like actual regular games. So the first one that I have got for you today is one called Sound Effects Theatre. And now it's time for Sound Effects Theatre. Sound Effects Theatre is a game where one of us tells a story while the other one provides the sound effects, like kind of Foley artists, basically. So we'll switch at halftime, but would you like to first be the person who tells the story, or would you like to first be the person who does the sound effects?
I think I would first like to give sound effects.
Sound effects? All right, cool. We don't go just completely off of nothing, we'll do a prompt to get things started. So I'll give myself a prompt of I don't know, let's say we'll do location for prompt for our story. I need to reset myself real quick though. There we go. Prompt of a location is weight room. So I'm going to tell a story that takes place in a weight room. Lends itself great to sound effects, I think. We have had restroom, women's restroom, and men's restroom for this previously.
Oh. So we're moving to a whole new set of bodily fluids.
Different grunts in this one. But yeah, we will go ahead and get started. I'll count us in 3, 2, 1. He spent every day in the weight room. He worked so hard that veins began popping out of his forehead. They were bubbling even to the point of bursting. He approached the rack of dumbbells and his footsteps echoed throughout the weight room for everyone to hear. Everyone was impressed by the bulk of this man. He grabbed the highest weight dumbbell that they had on the rack, which was 120 pounds. He lifted it up over his head. Unfortunately, it was just a little too much for him. And his which one is this? Radius snapped. He couldn't believe it. The weight fell to the floor. Boom. He stifled a scream of agony. He wanted to let it out so bad, but could not. So an attendant came over to see what the matter was, ran over as fast as they could. And they were small, much smaller, chipmunk-like almost, the attendant, and started to apply first aid. So first, they snapped the arm back into proper position. And it was juicy. It was a juicy wound, as it turned out. So they snap the arm back into the position, and then they pull out a bandage, like extend it. They wrap it around the affected area and tape it up. Yep. And the man went immediately back to the dumbbell rack and grabbed a 120-pound dumbbell with the other arm. Snapped that arm immediately. It's a rough day. But this time decided to gut out the pain and continued trying to lift the weight with the broken arm. And yes, it got very squishy. Blood was just pulsing out of the wound, like with his heartbeat, Yep. Exactly. And it was, everyone around was just disgusted by this. They started feeling like they were going to vomit. One person did. And that's the end of the story. I didn't know where to go from there. I mean, that weight room is pretty much screwed at this point.
It is. It's a crime scene.
Yeah, it is a crime scene for sure. So that's how Sound Effects Theater works. You can now tell a story. I will do the sound effects for it. Let's get you a location for this story. Your location, very interesting. Your location is Labyrinth. So, take that to be specific or general if you like. I will go ahead and count you in, and I'll do the sound effects for this one. So we'll go 3, 2, 1.
It was a sunny afternoon in Greece.
Sparkle, sparkle.
A sparkling afternoon, even.
Yeah, shine.
And as the sun shone down on the labyrinth, the Minotaur went out for his daily walk. First, he traced his left hand around the hedges, looking around every corner, waiting for someone to step out and be lunch. And as he trode through the sunshine, he heard from up above a faint flutter. And looking up, saw a familiar face, Daedalus' son, Icarus. The Minotaur offered a hearty greeting looking up. Unfortunately, Icarus was distracted and continued to fly higher and higher. And as he flew higher, the wax on his wings began to drip and fall. And he plummeted down into the labyrinth, where the Minotaur was waiting with open arms.
Gotcha.
And as he looked at his friend, the Minotaur had to weigh, was he hungry or was he kind? And as he settled his mind, he lifted Icarus slowly up and set him on the hedges to go about his day.
Bing, bing, bing. Lovely. A lovely story and a learned story. Like, it's infotainment. You can learn things as, as you hear lovely sounds.
Yes, and you don't have to think about what actually happened to the sacred bull.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, so that's Sound Effects Theater. We are at the point now where we start to learn a little bit more about you. This is the part. Yeah, you've already got your D20 there, so you know what's coming. It's D20 questions, so you've got a 20-sided die. I have 20 questions numbered 1 through 20. Whatever you roll, that's the question I'll ask you. So go right ahead. Roll her up.
All right, let's see how it goes. We've got an 18.
18 is, I actually just recently changed this one. It's, if you had to teach a class on one thing, what would it be?
As someone who has taught more than one class,
Sure.
if I was going to teach one, it would be about mutants.
Mutants? Like actual mutants or like, mutants of fiction, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It would be both.
Okay.
I love the way that literature tells us how we treat bodily variation, both in society and elsewhere. I am a mutant in point of fact.
All right.
I have acid blood and 4 extra bones.
Is that true?
That is an absolute fact. I've got 2 extra floating ribs down below.
And your blood is more acidic than the average human being.
Yes, it is. This is a problem for me on occasion because if I'm not careful with my diet or I get stressed, I make crystals in my body that stab my joints.
Wow, you are you're like one of the X-Men, really.
Exactly.
Except your powers hurt you.
Yes, they go inward.
Right, yeah.
I turn my power inward.
Like if you could make crystals that go outward and for fighting,
that would be useful.
Robots and stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
For sure. All right. No, that's a very fascinating one. I like that one. I was going to say, I don't know if I have any mutations, but maybe they just haven't manifested yet.
You probably have mutations.
Most people do.
Most people do.
See, I'd take this class.
Usually they stick out somewhere that doesn't really matter. Something small, something different. I just happen to have ones that you can see in an X-ray.
All right. What would be another common example that I might have and not know?
There are different patternings of non-visible skin tone.
Okay.
That are, I think, UV reactive or some kind of reaction.
Oh, so if I was under a special light?
You could see it, yes.
All right. I'm going to go test that now. I'm going to seek out special UV light to find out if I'm a mutant or
not. Absolutely. And a lot of times different organs are going to shift where they are in your body or different pieces of you since your body is not the average body. Most bodies aren't.
I can tell you that's right, for better or worse. Roll another one. Let's see. Let's see what else comes up.
We've got a 5.
5 is: do you prefer fantasy, sci-fi, or neither? Or I suppose another option would be: I love them equally.
I love science fiction.
Science fiction? All right,
Fantasy
cool.
Fantasy is a delight. I love science fiction, especially the older, strange short story science fiction that was written for dirt cheap.
So what, do you have a favorite varietal of science fiction that you would recommend to people? You said specifically reading, so like a book, I suppose, that you would recommend.
I would recommend Astounding, anything written between 1935 and 1950.
Okay.
I would recommend anything written by Robert Matheson.
All
Those
right.
are some wonderful, wonderful stories. And I'm also a huge fan of some of the fiction of John D. MacDonald.
All right. What is the flavor of that?
Robert Matheson is philosophical body horror.
Okay.
Thinking about The Incredible Shrinking Man, or I'm trying to remember the name of another mutant story of his that was turned into a film. He writes stories that are later turned into films where we think about different bodies and places of people in society.
The mutations are back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then John D. MacDonald, he's best known for his Travis McGee series, which are contemporary adventure, contemporary in the 70s. But he wrote 3 science fiction stories, The Girl with the Gold Watch and Everything, Wine of the Dreamers, and Ballroom of the Skies, that are delightful little short fiction thinking about why the world is a terrible place to be.
Okay. I got some thoughts on that. So, so yeah, that sounds right up my alley, as a matter of fact. Roll another one. Let's see what else you got.
We've got a 10.
10. 10 is, what is your favorite hobby to partake in?
My current favorite hobby is mosaic making.
Oh,
if we're thinking about something that we do with our hands.
Like tiles?
Yes.
So is this where you would you take tiles, smash them up, and then turn them into something?
Absolutely. I have a 4-year-old daughter who will occasionally break a mug or a bowl, and these are things that sometimes they're storied objects, like the mug from our honeymoon that's broken into fragments. And so I take all of those fragments and I stick them in grout and I make them into tabletops.
That is fantastic. Is it always accidental breakage, or is it intentional breakage sometimes?
Well, it starts as accidental breakage, and then I break it further until I can get it into shapes that I can work with.
I see. I got you. Fair enough. So it's never like, hey, I want to do mosaic today, but nothing's broken. Let's smash something. It doesn't typically go that direction.
I haven't run out of material to work with yet. Someday when I actually
enough
need
things get broken accidentally that it's not an issue.
Absolutely.
All right. Fair enough. Let's do one more. Roll her up again.
We've got an 8.
8 is, where is the most interesting place that you have traveled? In your opinion. It's subjective, obviously, but...
I've done the most interesting things in Serbia.
Okay.
But the most interesting place that I have been is the island of Syros in Greece.
Pick one and explain why.
All right. The island of Syros, I had the fortune to live there for a month and a half. And it is basically 4 separate worlds that are crammed onto a little island. Anybody who designs role-playing games would love it.
Interesting. Like different biomes, basically?
Yes.
Okay.
So on the south side, you have rolling hills. You have deep coves and bays where people live and spend a lot of time. On the west side of the island, you have these silver sand beaches. That's where all the tourists go and hang out.
Sure.
On the northern side of the island, you have this rocky moonscape that looks almost completely devoid of life. That's great for climbing. And almost the entire east side of the island is one of the main cities and the port of Ermoupoli, where it is dense population, wonderful internet cafes and bakeries.
The food is fantastic. I was in Greece not that long ago, and it's man, I could eat all day long and do nothing else while I was there.
Absolutely. What was your favorite thing while you were there?
To eat?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a generic answer, but I love souvlaki.
Yes.
I liked they have a bunch of different pies. Like you always see spanakopita, which is like your spinach pie, but they have all different kinds. Like they have potato based pies. They have actual, pie, like sweet based pies. This sounds like the most boring choice, but I had a potato pie. It was like spanakopita, but not spinach, potato. And it was outstanding. It was the best thing ever, man. But it's so basic.
You can't go wrong with phyllo dough and veg. You can't.
It's true. All right. Let's do another game.
All right.
Let's do one that you are probably familiar with, at least the basic premise of it. This is one called Bartender. Bartender is a game that we'll do another like switch at halftime kind of deal, but one of us will be a bartender. The other person will be a patron at this bar. The patron has some kind of issue that they come to the bartender with. They'll give advice. Maybe it's good advice. Maybe it's the worst advice any person could give, but they'll give it their their best shot, the old college try. Would you like to be the bartender first, or would you like to be the patron first?
I'll be the bartender first. Come, bring me your problem.
All right, I appreciate that. I got all sorts of real ones, but let's generate a prompt so it doesn't get me too sad. So the prompt is going to be interesting. It's betray is the prompt. So I have a issue that has something to do with betrayal. The count in is the chime of the bells on the bar door. So I'll count us in, and you'll hear that. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, there, partner. Why don't you guss you on up?
All right. Yeah. Let me just take a seat on this stool here. I need something strong. What's the strongest drink you have?
Well, that would probably either be the Four Roses bourbon, or we've got a wonderful and delightful strong arm clear of the nethers.
The nethers, eh?
Indeed.
All right, clear of the nethers?
Clear of the nethers. It's pitch black and 210 proof.
Oh, yeah, give me some of that, please. Absolutely. Keep it away from open flames.
Absolutely. This defies the laws of physics.
All right, I love that. Physics are a pain in the ass, honestly.
Nobody wants physics.
Nobody wants, those laws are for chumps, to be honest with you. All right, yeah, this will make things a little bit better. It's been, I got to be honest with you, it's kind of a rough day for me.
Oh yeah, tell me a little about it.
Well, I went duck pin bowling. Have you ever heard of that?
I have. You strap the little animals down and you pin them right to the floor, and then you throw things at them, yeah?
Yep, that's exactly what it is. You pin ducks down, and then you throw stuff at them. I didn't think that's what it was going to be. I looked it up online, and the pictures online were all like, yeah, it's bowling, but it's these small, short, fat pins. And then I showed up there, and it was the thing you described, which apparently is the more common duck pin bowling, where ducks are actually pinned down. And it's, to be honest with you, I felt completely betrayed because I walked into this scenario thinking that I would not have to harm wildlife. But the point was to harm wildlife. So I left. It was just like 5 minutes ago. It's right up the street, which is probably why you knew exactly what it was, because it's like 5 doors down from here.
Absolutely. I'm out there protesting every day.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. So you're not a fan either, I see.
No.
Here's the problem. I was there with my work compatriots, and I don't think that they are going to approve of the fact that I just skipped out. So any advice you could give me on, rectifying the situation so I can actually show my face at work again, because I'll have to.
Absolutely. Now, it is very difficult to empathize with someone who is prepared to engage in acts of animal cruelty.
Tell me about it, yeah.
But what I find is it comes down to a fundamental lack of empathy.
All right.
If you can convince them to be empathetic with the ducks,
sure,
then they will understand your actions. And so I think you have no recourse but to enter your duck pin bowling, find your compatriots from work, strap them to the floor,
yes,
ask them how they like it,
on
and then
board,
throw projectiles at them.
Okay,
because either you get a strike and you don't have work compatriots, or they learn a valuable lesson about animals and cruelty.
Make them feel pain. I like this plan. You're the best bartender I've ever had. This drink was fantastic. It's burning my insides just like drinks are supposed to. I am going to head right back down there. I'm finish this drink. I'm going to walk back up to the duck pin bowling. I'm going to strap all of my coworkers down. I'm going to inflict pain on them until they realize the error of their ways. And who knows, maybe I'll get a promotion out of it.
I certainly hope so.
One would think, like, it would only make sense. All right, well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Have a great day. All right. I don't know. That might work. It might not. So we'll switch now. And I'm glad that we got away from, we didn't actually harm any ducks.
Nobody wants to harm ducks.
Yeah. The prompt that I'm going to give you for your issue is, supersonic?
Okay.
Supersonic. Some issue relating to speed beyond the speed of sound, I guess. So I'll count you in and do your little door enter thing. So 3, 2, 1.
Excuse me, bartender.
Hello. You need help?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, I mean, do you need me to call the authorities or something? Is someone after you?
It's nothing that serious.
Okay.
I'm crunching numbers right now.
Okay. You strike me as a person who would be crunching numbers, not to judge on appearances. I'm judging entirely by the sound of your voice.
Of course. It's not the very thick glasses or the pocket protector or the fact that this is 1965.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. You just emanate nerd. I'm sorry, but
it's okay. It's okay. I have taken the very necessary classes to be nerd.
Oh, all right, great. It's one day it will be a popular thing to have that moniker. So you just wait.
Well,
you trust me.
I come to the time travel bar.
All right, great.
You know things.
Yep, time travelers. You found it.
Now, as you see, the problem that I'm working on is getting a ship to go supersonic.
Okay.
But in space, where there is no sound.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. How can you exceed the speed of sound if sound isn't even there in the first place?
Exactly. I'm trying to put something into a void. And when you're trying to fit something deeply into a void at just the right angle and speed, you have to have the right calculations.
I agree. So here's what you got to do. Paradigm shift. You got to completely throw out your definition of the word supersonic. So what you do is you go into space with this invention that I've got that's going to be crazy popular one day. I'm just not realizing. Sonic the Hedgehog, right? So he's this hedgehog. He goes super fast. His name is Sonic. So if you take him, you're redefining what supersonic means. It no longer applies to sound. Now it applies to this hedgehog. And, all you got to do is find a way to, make him super. Maybe have him work out or something so he gets, stronger.
I have to get to the scientists in Houston. We have to start genetically manipulating hedgehogs and give them little red capes and cute blue underwear.
Blue, yeah, absolutely. Blue has to be in there.
In this way, we're going to create a rocket ship that will get out into space and travel supersonically.
Absolutely. Rocket ships traveling supersonically. That's what the result of that's going to be.
Thank you so very much. I have not purchased any alcohol from you. So
all right.
please.
Do you drink?
Not usually, no. I just chain smoke moment after moment after moment.
All right. Well, I could, I can light your cigarette for you, or I can, if you want to try a drink, I can get you one. I can make you a Shirley Temple or something.
A Shirley Temple and light this up, and then I will be on my way.
All right. Well, here you go. That's we'll light up your cigarette, and my sound effects aren't so great, but here's a Shirley Temple. Enjoy that.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much, sir. Very nice. Supersonic in space, difficult. Yeah. I don't know an actual solution to that. I guess the fact that speed is speed, whether sound is there or not.
That's too
would
logical
be the real
for
answer.
this.
Yeah, who needs logic? Ain't nobody got time for that.
Logic isn't funny.
No, I agree. All right, so we are going to do our next game. This is one I haven't done in quite some time. I don't think we did it since the pilot episode that I did with my sister, which was, again, quite some time ago. So it's been so long that I have to find the intro for it. Here it is. So this game is called Defender.
Oh my gosh. What? Say what?
Defender, the way that this one works, I am going to read the headline of a news story. And you have to play the role of the counsel who's defending the person who perpetrated whatever the crime was in the story. It's usually, they're real stories. They're actual stories of stuff that happened, but obviously I'm picking the wackier variety of them. So I'm going to have to fade that out real quick. But we have a number of stories. The first one that you are going to have to defend is Man breaks into Little Caesars, starts making and selling pizzas. Have you heard this story?
I have not heard this story.
An actual thing that happened. So, guy broke into Little Caesars, starts making and selling pizzas. It happened in North Carolina, if that helps you at all. And I'll be the judge, let's say, in this scenario, and you have to convince me that your client who did this had good reasons behind it, or good intentions, or whatever you think would get them off the hook. Are you ready?
I am ready.
3, 2, 1.
Now, I say, sir, you need to pay attention to the actions of my client and the outcomes as well as his intentions.
All right, fancy Southern lawyer. I'm listening. Your easy mannerisms and colloquial speak have got me entranced already. So explain to me, first of all, why your client broke into Little Caesars.
Now, as you may know, Little Caesars operates a very secure facility.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's
like Fort Knox, that place.
Absolutely. Every one of those doors is locked. Every one of those windows is sealed. Now, my client simply found egress into a position of power.
Oh.
Now, he came from a place with no power and into a place that has the power of commerce. And
Sure.
as you understand, it is the American dream to pursue commerce.
Sure,
Therefore,
absolutely.
He did not actually transgress a physical boundary, but instead transcended his current spiritual plane. And the spirit of the moment is not something that can be judged by the law, but by the character of man.
All right. Yeah. That's a lot of words. But why did he start making and selling pizzas? He wasn't just giving them away. He broke in, started making pizzas, and then sold them at market value to people.
Now, of course, can I tell you about another man who broke into the market? Now, this man wore a turtleneck sweater and blue jeans.
All right.
And his name, I cannot say on the radio because there is probably some law. However, we all know this man who found that there were telephones and found a way to make them more expensive and make them wear out every day.
Yeah, I know the guy.
And so my client is very much breaking and entering the same way this man broke and entered into the market. And this man, he is not a criminal. He is a hero. So really what you are telling me that I am defending is a hero. And I thank you, Your Honor, for this opportunity.
Wow. I never really looked at it that way. You have me convinced. I mean, you've not provided any, honestly, legal grounds for why this person should not be going to jail for a very long time for breaking in and, you know, making pizzas and selling them. However, on a, like, I don't know, existential, metaphysical kind of level, sold. Yeah. All charges dropped.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Let's give you another scenario. So this one is going to be theft suspect tells Colorado officers he'll surrender after finishing cigarette. So it doesn't say what he stole, but definitely needed to finish the smoke before he would allow them to apprehend him. So I guess what the specifics of all of that are up to you and me to a degree, I guess. So I will count us in 3, 2, 1. So, counselor, your client, guilty of theft, decided while police officers were in pursuit to stop, kind of flag the officers and let them know he needed to stop for a smoke.
Absolutely.
All right. Please make this make sense to me. What was going through this guy's mind?
That is why I am here to offer an explanation for the defendant.
All right.
And there's a very good explanation for his actions. You see, he had just left the dispensary from which he had legally purchased some things and may or may not have pocketed other things.
Okay, right. Still, that's theft. That's the theft part.
Now, it is.
We call that theft, sir.
You would call that theft.
That's the legal definition.
If you were to fully understand how laws worked. Now, I'm not sure, Your Honor.
I'm a judge.
Yes, and have you ever been in a dispensary?
I should plead the fifth.
So we'll operate on the assumption of no, sir. And
All
if
right,
you
fine. I have.
Okay. So when you go into a dispensary, they have all kinds of deals. 50% off.
Sure.
Buy one, get one free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take what you want. And then
5
leave the
pre-rolls
store.
for free once you get. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm sure they have those deals. Absolutely.
Now, of course. Now, you've also been in a dispensary. Full, colorful, and distracting.
That's
How
true.
hard is it to hold on to all of the things that you can or can't have for free when you're basically in a carnival environment?
That's true, boy. I just want everything.
Exactly. You grab what you want,
Yep.
and then you try a little bit, and then you change your mind.
I'm the highest judge that ever was, brother.
Exactly. That's why we're in Colorado.
That's
for your
right. That's right.
high seat of power.
You know it.
And so, my client, needing a moment after leaving the space, being confronted by, let's face it, police,
Sure. Yeah. That's what happened.
needed to chill and figure things out. And instead of heightening things, he de-escalated. He took things down.
Okay. So he was trying to diffuse the situation, is what you're telling me by
Exactly.
by having everybody calm down. All right, so I see how that calms him down a little bit, but how would it calm down the officers who were following him?
Well, he meant to hand that around so that the officers could share.
Sure, pass to the left, but they didn't cooperate.
They did
officers.
not.
All right.
They impeded justice by not calming down. So really, instead of my client, it is them who should
We should be
on trial
arresting
here.
those police officers.
Exactly.
For harshing the vibe, really.
Exactly.
All right, party
Penal co-
fouls.
Penal Code 420.
Harshing the vibe and party fouls. That's true. It's in here. It's in the Colorado statutes. It's page 53. All right, cool. Well, yeah, you're right. Your client's free to go. Officers on duty, you are to report to lockup immediately for harshing the vibe. Thank you. Okay. That's defender. That's how that one works. Good times. And I think justice was served in both instances. Absolutely. The last one that we do is you and I going against each other. It's a head-to-head
Choose your fighter.
kind of deal.
Okay, so I have to crawl over this table and just bow.
I'd appreciate it if it didn't come to physical blows, but let's be honest, if it did, I'd probably be at a disadvantage. No, this is a battle of wits, you see, or something of the sort. So I'll give you the choice. I have regretted giving people the choice because they always pick the one that I'm worse at, but we can do a game called Yes and, which is super basic and it's a little easier, but it's equally easy for both of us, where it's kind of a tennis match back and forth. Or we can do a game called Questions, which is almost exactly the same, except for every response by each person has to be a question. And that one's more difficult, but it would be more difficult for both you and I. So given the choice, which would you like to proceed with?
Given the choice, I think easier is better. Let's go with yes and.
Bless your heart. So we are going to do yes and, thank God. And the way that yes and works is one of us starts with a statement, any statement at all, and the other person has to say yes and add on to it. And then it goes back, forth, back, forth. If you stall for, even a second, then you get buzzed and the other person gets the point. If you don't really respond to what the other person had just said, get buzzed, and the other person gets the point. And you do have to say yes and every time, except for the first one, which is just doing a statement. Does this make sense?
Yes, and I'm ready to play.
Fantastic. I will count us in, and then you can start with the statement, and we'll go 3, 2, 1.
Boy, am I glad to be here with my baseball bat.
Yes, and the baseball bat has blood dripping off of it.
Yes, and I'm missing several key figures from this trial.
Yes, and that's going to come back to haunt you.
Yes, and only if I'm caught.
Yes, and you are probably not going to want to be holding evidence in that case.
Yes, and I'm glad to hand you your new baseball bat.
Yes, and I'm going to have to hide this.
Yes, and you have a wonderful home in which to hide it.
Yes, you win that round. So many crimes today.
I know.
Crimes on the brain, as it turns out. I'm going to mark you a point here.
Can't imagine why.
First 1 to 3 is what we're going to do is the ultimate champion. So whoever did not get the point is the person who starts. So I'll start this one, and we'll go 3, 2, 1. You just purchased a lovely table.
Yes, and a set of chairs to go with it.
Yes, and the chairs are a bit wobbly.
Yes, and I need you to fix that.
Yes, and I'll get my carpentry tools right away.
Yes, and you better get some glue.
Yes, and the glue had better be made from real horses.
Yes, and those horses better have had real and kind lives before they became glue.
Yes, and the horses that didn't have, no, I don't know. I was going to say the horses that didn't have kind lives, the glue won't work or something, but that was too intense. There was too much going on there, so I'm going to give you the point. Too convoluted is the word I was looking for. Ironically, that I couldn't come up with it. All right, you're 1 away from victory, man. You got 2 right out of the gate. So I will start a new one. Man, when it's questions, I have the excuse of like I just hate this game and I'm bad at it. Yes, and no excuse, man. So I gotta turn up the heat. 3, 2, 1. Your notes on the subject are extensive.
Yes, and written in glitter ink.
Yes, and it is made of fairy's blood.
Yes, and that got gruesome really fast. You got that one.
It's all right. So if we get a little gory, maybe that helps me out. All right, good to know. You start to learn as you go through this, like what's going to trip the other person up, and you can start to gamify it a little bit more. All right, so this time you are going to get to start because I got that point. So I will count you in 3, 2, 1.
Wow, is it getting hot in here?
Yes, and I am sweating.
Yes, and rippling those biceps.
Yes, and I worked really hard at the gym for these biceps.
Yes, and you saw a man dislocate a shoulder today.
Yes, and the attendant helped him by bandaging it up.
Yes, and he did the same thing over again.
Yes, and he ran out of bandages eventually.
Yes, and you learned from this.
Yes, and I'm going to take those skills to medical school.
Yes, and you're going to practice wonderful medicine.
Yes, and all of my patients will be magically cured.
Yes, and this is a wonderful world to live in.
Yes, and I'm going to buzz myself and give you the point because that's how I would like to end it.
That's a beautiful way to end it.
What a great world that would be. If everyone was magically healed, we wouldn't have to worry about the desolate healthcare system problems.
No, we would just have a bunch of sweaty, happy, healthy doctors taking care of everybody.
Doesn't that sound beautiful?
Yeah.
Sweaty, healthy, happy doctors and patients, ideally, too, I suppose.
Ideally, yeah.
All right, yeah, so you win 3-1. Congrats. That's it. That's the extent of the games that I had planned for us today. So I greatly appreciate you coming in, hanging out, having some fun, doing some games, getting the laughs. And I'd love to have you back at some point in time, too.
I'd be glad to. It was a joy to be here today. Thanks for letting me play.
Of course. Everybody, you can listen to this podcast pretty much anywhere. It's on all the major platforms. So whatever one you use, go find it. Follow us there. And hopefully you'll check it out next time. And we'll see you then. It's Improv to go. Bye-bye.
So long.